Hey! Oh, was it hilarious? Thank you. We're live. Come and say hello. We're live on YouTube. Come and say hello. Say hello.
Welcome to
Can you wave there, and they'll see you waving.
Arm in the sky. This is the Nick and Jim board game show, episode 7. Oh. And are you ready for the Nick and Jim board game show, episode 7 live theme tune?
Here we go. It's the Nick and Jim show. The Nick and Jim show. It's episode 7. We're live on YouTube. It's heaven.
How exciting. We are meeting for the first time live for your viewing pleasure. And on first glance, having seen Nick for a couple of years on the internet, my first opinion is meh.
Yeah, he's a bit like that, isn't it? He's a lot shorter in real life, is what you said when I walked through the door. He went, "Oh, you're a lot shorter in real life."
Well, initially,
I wonder if I can.
Anyone there?
Yeah.
It's lovely to meet you for the
first
time.
It's been a pleasure. I was trying to share this on live because you clicked the button way too quick.
I'm sorry.
But it's fine.
Well, I'll talk whilst you do that.
Yeah, I'll do this in the background.
Meeting people for person is very exciting. Hello, EC. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Eleanor. Thank you for joining us. We're very excited for this special live show. As Nick said on his live a moment or two earlier on Instagram, we're sorry we didn't promote it, but it was generally because as two middle-aged men, we had no idea whether we were going to figure out the technology, and it did take us quite a long time. But we've done it, and we're live, and here we go. So it's lovely to see you all. Thank you for joining us, Natalie Suave. Saying a quick hi, then back to work. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us. We have an action-packed show today.
We do.
We're going to talk to you about a lot of stuff, including
the new hashtag, the wonderful Jim Gamer, here in 3 dimensions for me, but not for you out there. The wonderful Jim Gamer has launched a new hashtag today. It is Board Gamers Chat. Do not miss out the seat. That is terribly important. But Board Gamers Chat has launched. Now, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Jim and I know lots of people on Instagram. We're very lucky in that regard, aren't we? And we chat to you quite regularly, but there are some people that don't have that luxury. And so what Jim has said is, let's open our doors.
It's just an opportunity to talk. And for anybody who is on Instagram regularly might have seen some stuff that went down last weekend, and we're not going to talk about that, but I think what it suggested to a lot of us in the board game community is that there's probably a few people out there that maybe don't have the chance to talk to people and sound out their grievances, their frustrations, just get an idea from other people about certain things. And very simply, all we want to do is say, well, if you want to chat, there are people willing to chat. Nick's open for chat. I'm open for chat. Mostly Solo's open for chat. Board Game Family UK are ready for a chat. Justin over in the States, as well as Coffee Incorporation, are open and ready to chat.
We've had a couple of others join already, haven't we? Florian, lovely Florian.
Yeah.
And Alice has also opened their doors. So
yeah.
Just keep an eye on our stories. Lots of people, I think, are going to just say, look, we're here. DM us, chat if you would like. You are more than welcome. And we're here for you because this isn't a community unless you feel welcome.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about that and a little bit about the details behind it. We're going to play some games live, which is very exciting. And we're going to answer any questions that you may have. So hold them for now, but have a think about what they might be. Put them in the comments later on, and we'll be doing that probably in about 20, 25 minutes.
Because we won't remember them in about 20, 25 minutes, frankly. If you ask them now, we've got no hope. No hope.
And the great thing about going live is I then can't edit it and add in insert text now.
No, I haven't got the opportunity for that. I should have written it on my arm or something, shouldn't I?
But if that something was going to come up, insert text now, it would now suggest this is the hot topic. So, as Nick suggested, yeah. We are talking hot topic today about the new hashtag that a few of us are talking about, which is, as Nick said, gamers say no.
No, Board Gamers Chat.
Board Gamers Chat.
He only invented the hashtag. Can't even remember it.
Board Gamers Chat. And as we talked about, it's just an opportunity for people to reach out and say, hey. And the most important thing that I want to say first off at the bat is anyone who sees this on Instagram, anyone who sees this now, if anyone's sitting there thinking, yeah, but they don't mean me, we do. We absolutely do. And that's the point. I think there is a lot of people out there that feel a little bit isolated. Maybe they feel like there's a bigger world of the Instagram going on that they're not part of and potentially not welcome in. There isn't, and you are. So reach out, say hello. And we understand there was a time when you were new to Instagram. There was a time when I was new to Instagram. And I think we were lucky because we sort of connected because we both blogged for a website. And that website formed a community started up by a chap called Ben from Game of Thrones. And he said, hey, we all blog for the same website. We should chat and talk. And that was the first community that I joined?
But I did get a warm, fuzzy feeling. Is all I can describe. When I joined Instagram, there were some lovely accounts, like Small Fries Games. Sort of was like, oh hi, come and chat to me. I was like, brilliant. I like chatting to people. And there was a few other people that are really like and followed me from day one, really loyally. They were bigger accounts than me. I just said, hi, I'm Nick. How are you doing? And friendships have bloomed and blossomed, and that's all it takes. A little DM. Look, we got a shared love of board games. We got something to talk about. We're not going to have a dull moment, but we can talk about other stuff too.
Exactly. Erlene is saying in the comments, I was terrified of connected in the beginning and never participate in giveaways because I had no one to tag. Terrible, which is such a good point.
It is a valid point. Tag me. I don't care. I will always reply. Good luck. Thanks for the tag, or maybe even enter. But most of the time, I'll just leave it to you because I've got plenty of board games. So tag me.
And people aren't going to be, no one's ever going to be like, oh, I can't believe you tagged me. Worst case scenario is they're just going to ignore it, which is fine. Who cares?
Yeah.
Ellen goes on to say, and then I accidentally landed myself in the Mechanisms Monday group. Ha 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 ha. Which is awesome because the Monday Mechanisms hashtag has just spiraled and so many people are a part of that now. And that's cool. But equally, there are people out there who don't want to be part of a big group. So we're not starting a big group for this.
No.
There is one.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to join that. And it's just all the people who are willing to open their doors for a chat. But the main point is just if you want to have a one-on-one chat with myself or Nick or any of the other wonderful people who are doing this, there is somebody in a different time zone in different parts of the world who are open and they are willing to talk. And just say, hey, how are you doing? That's all you got to do.
Thanks for joining all those lovely people. Alice Plays Games is here. Line, obviously, we said hello. Really fun game. Says you give great advice. Yeah, we don't mind.
Thank you.
It's really kind, but we don't mind.
It's simple stuff. It's just because we feel very blessed to have found this amazing community that I think exploded because of lockdown. And let's be honest, what we specifically mean by that is us being bored and wanting to reach out to humanity because humanity had been locked away from us. And so we couldn't talk to our friends and family and our co-workers like we normally did. And so we talked to other Instagram people and it's been amazing. It's
been lovely.
But there's still so many people out there who clearly haven't found that yet. And like I said, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but last Saturday's incident on Instagram suggested that there are others that maybe need to sound some stuff out because I've been close myself to saying some pretty dumb stuff. And I've gone to a group chat and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And people have gone, do not do that. And it's an awesome thing to do because in your head, sometimes you think a joke is going to be received this way. And then you say to 6 or 7 other people and they go, here's another way that that might be interpreted, you stupid, stupid man, which is a really nice thing to hear. So for me, what we need to have is a more open and inclusive community. Because I think we're all very proud of the board game community and how inclusive and open it is. But last weekend,
2 middle-aged white men, obviously,
exactly,
awkward. But no, we are.
We proved last weekend it's not as good as it needs to be. No. So we've been chatting all week about what can we do in our little bubble to make it better. And the best thing that we can think of is just by simply saying what we've said. If you want to chat, if you want to reach out to people, we are here.
Now, I will also add to that us two may not be your cup of tea, and that is absolutely fine. You're here, so we're probably your cup of tea, but we might not be your friend's cup of tea who wants to chat. And so that's why we've got some awesome other people in the community that don't have grey beards, weird hair, and are generally middle-aged men. But we are here for you if you want us to be. If not, go find someone else, because it's really important, that chatting and that part of community and being felt like you're welcome, and you are.
Exactly. So the best thing to do is search the hashtag. You'll see all the different people who are blogging and posting about it today. Pick the person who is the most approachable and easy for you. And if you're saying, okay, cool, I'm into this, and I'm pick someone, what do I say? Just say, hey. Just say, hey, how you doing? That's all you got to do. And then that person will reach back to you and say, hey, how are you? And then you can just have a chat about whatever you want. We're not trained psychologists. We're not trained psychiatrists. We're just people that care. That's it. End of.
I generally give bad advice as well. No joke. I'll make a joke of it, but I will rein you in if you're about to do something lunatic. But no, generally speaking, But we've got some other lovely comments. Eleanor Hall, lovely Ellie from Board Runner, has said, I would never have had the courage to message anyone myself. Luckily, I also had Max on this account, so he sent out the thing. But they're part of the community already. I mean, I feel like I've known Nelly and Max for forever and a day. So they've been included. All it takes is one message. And it doesn't have to be one of the people that have said so on the chats. if you've got a favourite account, just reach out to them and say hello. They will love to talk to you, especially if it's about board games, because that's what we're all here for. But generally speaking, you know, we will talk about anything.
Absolutely. And if you're sitting there thinking, why would that person want to hear from me? Switch it around and think to yourself, if somebody that you don't know, some completely random person that you've never spoken with, never engaged with, don't know anything about, and they reached out to you and said, hey, how you doing? How would you feel? And my guess is you'd feel pretty special and honored that they've reached out to you and wanted to talk. So that's how people will feel if you do that. So don't be put off, don't hold back, don't wait, just say, hey, that's all you got to do. And people are open and willing to talk. As Nick said, I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there that feel the same way. This is just some people saying it publicly, because I think some people just need that little gentle encouragement to understand and recognize that you're not alone, you're not isolated, you're not separated from the community. The point of a community is that it is for everybody. A community doesn't work if it isn't for everybody. So if you feel like that, then the community isn't working, which is why we're doing what we're doing, to make it better, so that people feel that they can express their opinions in a better way, in a more concise way, in not offensive ways, and they can have a chance to talk and engage in a civilized, happy, respectful manner.
Yes,
that's the most important thing that I think we both want to get across, because I don't think you and I necessarily agree on everything.
No, but quite the opposite. Quite the opposite.
We can talk respectfly to each other about our differences of opinions, because there's a dialogue, and so that's all you need. Just start the dialogue, say hey. So that's why we're doing it. I hope that makes sense. Please do reach out. Anyone out there, do it. Anyone out there who feels they don't need to do it, just talk about it. If you could share a story, talk about it, because the people that follow you that don't follow us, you might be able to reach them in ways that we can't. So just share it out there, because this is an opportunity for us to do something that is actually good, rather than all the other stuff that comes with Instagram, which is fine and we're all a part of. But let's do something cool for once.
Let's keep Instagram about love, kindness, respect, and just being beautiful to one another. That's all it takes. If you want to be mean, go to Twitter. It's ready and waiting for you. It's already built to be mean. Do it. Go over there and just write your one line of meanness. Get out of your system, then come back to Instagram for a hug. But
so true. There was some bonkers on Twitter yesterday. Did you see? It's just,
no, I don't.
Every day there's bonkers there, and it's just a shame, because there's people just puking out their opinions without any thought process, and that's the problem with it. So what this is a chance to kind of like, if you want to puke out that opinion, puke it out maybe on a one-on-one situation, rather than to your entire following, and just maybe people will be able to give you other viewpoints, other opinions, and you'll just have a chance to maybe just feel less boxed in by life right now, because I feel a lot of people are feeling boxed in right now.
And it's really hard, isn't it? Because we are coming out of a lockdown here in the UK, but a lot of people around the world aren't. And actually just coming out of lockdown, unfurling from lockdown is really difficult. And it's about making those baby steps that you're comfortable with. And if you're still happy in your little bubble and that's where you want to be, that's cool. If it works for you, brilliant. But if you need to chat, we're still here for you. Some lovely comments.
Absolutely.
Some wonderful advice I've given over the years.
Susanna Cousin says, I'm always happy to chat to people, but I'm still shy to reach out to people. So I'm grateful for you guys who adopted me and us into your bubble of crazy. And I think that sums up what we're saying, right? Is that, first of all, there's a lot of people that want this, but secondly, they're nervous to make that first step. So that's the easiest way to summarize this. Why are we doing what we're doing? We're trying to make that first step easier. Simple as that. A lot of people want a bigger community. A lot of people want a chance to talk. And after I put my live up today on Insta, somebody who I've never spoken to before reached out and said, hey, how you doing? What's your favorite games right now? And I replied back going, these, what are yours? And they told me what their games were, and the conversation just spiraled. He just started by asking me what my favorite games are right now. If anyone asks me what my favorite games are right now, I will happily talk, like, as would you, right? So that's all it is. It's really as simple as that.
Just say hi. EC says also, if anyone wants to vent and yell and scream, do it at me. I promise I'll still love you. And that's how we feel. We will still love you, but we'll just try and be that sounding board between craziness and normality.
Exactly.
If I can do that.
So please join, share the post that you've seen today, put the hashtag on your post as well. And the hashtag is, because I keep forgetting,
Board Gamers Chat.
That's the one. It was originally going to be Board Gamers Talk, which when written looks like Board Gamers Stalk. So we're not using that anymore.
You turn on that.
So it's now Board Gamers Chat. But as Nick says, don't miss out the S. Board Gamers Chat.
Yes, it's fine. The C isn't. Right, anyway, moving on from that.
Insert title here.
Insert title here. What's the next section of the show normally? Is it playing a game?
Should we play a game?
Should we play a game? Are you ready to play a game? I think so. What are we playing, Jim Gamer?
Today we are going to play one of my favourite party games, which is from the wonderful people at Big Potato. And whenever I talk about party games, I always seem to talk about Big Potato, but they do make great party games. And this one is 20-Second Showdown.
So I hid my cards.
Which is just such a simple game. I could explain it to you in 5 seconds.
Go on then.
Simply what you do is...
Can you do it in 20 seconds?
I could probably do 20. That's more feasible than 5. You equalize this timer, so there's roughly the same amount of stuff on blue and yellow. Separate however many people play into 2 equal teams. You can play with 2 to 1,000. Just separate into 2 equal teams. And then one person plays as the quizmaster and they read out a bunch of cards. And you take it in turns. And the idea is when you're reading for the blue team, they are using up their time. And when you're playing for the yellow team, they are using up their time.
That is a precious sound.
So you want to do your challenges as quickly as you possibly can. And if you can get the timer for your opposition all the way done, that means they've used up all your time. You have it, you win. Simple as that. That is 20-Second Showdown. It's crazy fun. I've played it so much. It's probably my most played game. Nick hasn't played it before, and we just thought it'd be a fun thing for you to see us do stupid things live on YouTube.
Why not?
Because we have no shame.
No shame and no idea what else we could have done. So we just went with it.
So we won't play with the timer because
it
was very loud.
Can we move it onto the shelf maybe?
Yeah, we could do that. But
I feel like that should be part of it.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you. So I'll do it here. This will be fine.
No, space.
Well, someone needs to flip it.
Yeah, you flip it when you've done your challenge.
Oh, some of the challenges are very quick though.
Well, okay. That's how it works.
So Nick's going first. This is 20-Second Showdown from Big Potato Games live on YouTube. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so your blue team.
Okay, yeah.
You ready? Challenge 1. Yodel for 3 seconds.
Is that 3 seconds?
That was way more than 3 seconds.
Right, that'd be you. Oh, I've got a card for you. What's this? Shout out 3 occasions you might celebrate with fireworks.
Fireworks night, New Year's Eve, and American Independence Day. 4th of July, 5th of July, whatever it is.
We'll have it. Okay. What's my challenge?
Shout out 3 things that you wouldn't do for $1 million.
Oh, there's not much. I'll sell my board game collection. Give away my cat. I probably would. No, $1 million is fine. I could get a new cat. There's nothing I wouldn't do for $1 million. Jim, I can't.
And that's how you win. It's as simple as that. I mean,
go for greed. You
could have
went
said,
for greed.
Not sell your kids, not sell your wife.
This is £1 million, Jim. It's £1 million.
Okay.
How could you?
If you are a family member of Nick watching, you now know your price.
There's a price for everything. Everything's for sale, isn't it? Everything's for sale.
If anyone's interested in purchasing Nick's family,
it's $1 million,
and you have 7 figures.
To be honest, I'll probably take an offer.
You can have 3 lovely boys and a lovely wife for £1 million.
Oh, I know. What your offer?
That is questionable. Should we do the other challenges?
Yeah, I feel like we should because you call me out. Don't have it.
Go on, your turn.
Okay, right. I'm gonna give you some of this. Right, here we go. Sorry, what were you doing? Oh, we've done that one. Okay, make up an old wives' tale.
An old wives' tale. Did you know that if you like Board Game Review's Instagram, you will then get very bad bowel problems?
True story.
True story.
Yep. IBS is a thing when you visit boardgamereview.co.uk.
Nick, pull a hair from your body.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're going. Oh, it could have been anywhere on your body. Oh,
more than one. More than one.
It's absolutely repulsive.
It's a clump. It's not just that, it's a clump.
Okay,
I've got to do one for you. Silently mime an animal of your choice, but your teammates must correctly guess what it is. Come on out there, can you do it? What's that? Deers don't bounce. Deers don't bounce. What are you doing? Rabbit.
Yes! Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Joel. If no one had said something there, that would have been so painful.
I was loving it. I've turned it.
Oh, that's the 4.
Is that
We
it?
did 4 each. So that's how you play 20-second showdown. It is
I can't count.
an incredibly simple game. As I said, it works with any player count. And if there is somebody who doesn't want to be doing stupid things, they just read the cards. So what I love about these sort of games is that they create this sort of hilarity, but there is always one person that's like, I'm not into that, and that's fine. But
some of these are fun. Shout out 3 things that are purple. You don't have to be a Wally and pull hair out of your body.
That was absolutely repulsive.
In fairness, I'll put it in my back pocket for later because I might have to stick it back on. I'm going a bit thin, so that's high risk pulling out hair.
If you're going to pull a hair from your body, what part of your body would you pull it from? I would go nose myself.
Yeah, but they don't want to watch that.
But it's easier.
You have to get close as well, like
or maybe like from my neck. I mean, that obviously for men that's easier. But
yeah.
I mean, your head. Oh, that was quite repulsive.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I mean, says he who had a mouthful of marshmallows on our first ever episode.
True story. But that is 20-second showdown for Big Potato Games.
Insert caption here.
My favourite party game, and if everyone ever asks me, this question comes up a lot. I don't know if you get asked this a lot.
Oh.
I've got a big kids party in the garden. What game should I get? I've had that asked so many times. Always, every time, this is my answer. Because any age, any group count, everyone's always involved. There's no one sat there waiting for their turn. It's just constant. So the game rules are officially, if you've got like 5 on the team, for example, you hold a baton, you do your task and then pass the baton to the next person and then they do the task. Just don't play like that. If you're asking somebody to yodel for 3 seconds, get the entire group to do it. Everyone's always doing it. Super crazy fun. Big 20-second showdown. Super fun.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't think I could yodel until then. I've
never tried it. That was a phenomenal yodel.
Thanks. I'm going to take that because I know I'm blowing my own trumpet, but it was mega.
Eleanor says I'd pull one from my head as well too. I mean, to be fair, you have like about 98% more hair on your head than Nick.
Yeah, I mean that has taken a percentage off.
You've not got a lot left.
No.
That was
well.
The beginning of the
always
end.
shave it, can't we? No, what? Yeah, I think nose hair would be more gross. Plus, do you get that?
Oh, it's definitely more gross. It's just easier.
Okay, do you? I always sneeze.
Yeah, I always sneeze. Yeah,
okay, fine.
But
just me.
It's just the fact that they're just very accessible. Like,
okay. Well, there we go.
That's 20-second showdown. So I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to move in a second to questions from you. So if anyone has any questions, pop them in the live chat and we'll look out for them. Prior to that, though, we're just going to talk a little bit about the games that we've been playing this week.
Ooh.
Anything big come up for you over the last few weeks?
I hired from Lazy Horse Games, and we mentioned them a lot, but they do a brilliant board game rental service, and I know you agree with that.
Absolutely.
I hired Sagrada from them, and I played that, and I am enjoying it.
Okay, out of 10, how hard are you finding it?
Well, because we're on the same level, I think that helps. I think if I played someone like that plays it regularly, I'll be like, I'm rubbish at this.
Yeah.
But because we're on the same par, we're all. I mean, I've lost. Yeah,
sure.
If that's what you're asking, I've lost everything.
Well, not necessarily whether you're winning or losing. Just if anyone hasn't played Sagrada, the idea is you're placing dice in a 6x6 or
something like that, a little grid.
Like that. And the rules are just color can't touch. And there's certain rules,
numbers can't
extra
touch.
Points about putting a 6 here and
or using diagonals or 2s and 1s.
So much going on, and my head's just so I don't find it difficult because I lose. I definitely lose. I find it difficult just because the game for me with my brain, it's got one too many layers. I can't figure it out.
Fair enough.
Brilliant game. Do not get me wrong. I think it's fantastic. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yes.
It's just too hard for me. I'm just not smart enough.
So I am playing a lot of that. Have I played much else? Not much. I played Game of Thrones, the card game. A bit more because it's a really quick but quite a thinky puzzle. I really like that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got it. Go on, you do yours. What have you been playing?
I've been playing Bees. This was lent to me by Jenny from Board Game Family UK, who's another person doing the hashtag that we talked about earlier. So reach out to her if you want to talk to her. Oh, there it is. I want to see the art.
Nice artwork. Yeah, it's got really cool artwork. Let's see if we can get some out.
There's I think if this is the game I'm thinking of, there's been some controversy around the card art for this.
Well, just because it sort of suggests that there's some spoilers. Oh, and there's a couple of there's a couple of things, but it's got quite cool. I don't know. Can you see that? It's got quite cool cartoon stylized.
Oh, I like it.
That's a Targaryen. So yeah. And it's quick. It's just really quick, but still quite thinky. Enough to it.
We can play that later.
We will.
So yeah, this was lent to me by Jenny, and this is sort of the opposite of Sagrada, in that it's a similar sort of game in that it's abstract strategy and it's got a few sort of puzzly things to think out.
It's got a cute little bee, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, that's got basically all you care about after that.
The components are
beautiful. And then after that you go,
I've got to be careful with this one because if Jen's watching, I want to make sure she thinks I'm being respectful for her game.
Close. Are they meant to have 2 wings, Jim?
Yeah, they are not damaged. I got that in focus. So yeah, these are the things. There you go. These are things you play with, and they are. And you think that looks a bit flimsy, but it's really not. It's beautifully made.
He's tried breaking it.
It's very clever, and the game is just fantastic. And it's got that thinky thing that Sagrada offers, but on a level that people like me can handle. It's not like super dumb. It's just one level below Sagrada. So I've really enjoyed it, and it's a fantastic game. And this week, Jenny from Board Game Review. Board Game Family UK posted about it because it was World Bee Day, which I didn't even know about, which is a cool thing that Instagram tells you about when there's like a day thing going on, and it's just about going, bees are important, they do stuff about something, and we should care about that thing. I think that's something regarding pollination or something.
Yes, absolutely. No, bees are terribly important. I like bees a lot.
But
I find Instagram tells me on the day, and then you go, oh, I've done my photo.
Yeah, you missed out.
And I don't know in bees. This is rubbish. Now I've got to buy another game for next year.
You've got 365 days to prep for next year now.
Yeah, it's in my calendar.
Put a reminder. There you go.
Absolutely.
So I've really enjoyed this game. It's really very good. So abstract strategy is definitely my jam. I'm a big fan of it, but I need abstract strategy that aren't too simple but aren't too hard, and that is perfectly my level. Prior to that, I would say Blue Lagoon. That's about my level. This is perfect as well. So I've really enjoyed bees.
Yeah, no. And really fun game says, so why do I run screaming when they're around? They're lovely things. They're not as bad as wasps, are they?
Wasps suck. They serve no purpose other than to annoy children and people in pubs.
My brother has this thing. It's weird. He just goes, oh, this gets rid of them. It doesn't. But he does this. And you go, oh,
does he have
just a wasp? It's just a wasp. Probably. I mean, it's my brother. He's related to me. I married someone who hasn't got a sense of smell.
I've always found the best thing to do with wasps is stay still, and eventually they...
Yeah, no, I agree, but he does this. That's off.
I mean, bees are a little bit more chunky, a little bit more fluffy, a bit more cute.
Oh, definitely the cuter of the
bee fan.
Erline's gone, Koaku would also be up your alley, Jim.
Yes, I'm very keen to play that. I think that would be right in my sweet spot.
The tiles, you have to peel the tile acrylic off, though. I saw someone doing that.
Looks very good.
That looks long-winded.
The other game I've been playing a lot of is
I'm jealous of this
absolute beauty, Windhaven Woods, which is from the chap Joel from Featherstone Games, who made the beautiful Open Ocean game, which is just a stunning game. And this is his next Kickstarter, which I think he's planning for later this summer, around July time, I believe.
This looks beautiful.
The art's so nice. It instantly
stunning.
Calms you down. I just feel calm now just talking about it.
I'm about to have a nap.
It's so beautiful. It just creates this feeling, you know, when you're walking in the woods and it's crisp but not cold, it's sunny but not summer, and it's just quiet and calm. You feel like that when you play this game. I promise you just do. And it's so beautiful. And the actual game itself is fantastic too. It's super fun, and he's just talking to a bunch of people. I know mostly solos really helped him out with the solo rules, which is awesome. Like Instagram is helping him make this game better, which is just awesome to see. And
it's nice when designers listen to that sort of feedback and they go, oh, this is my game, no one else can be. But if you're open to feedback, there's loads of it out there.
100%.
These are beautiful.
Yeah, it's so good. So
I'll accept. Thanks, Jim. I'll take that.
you may take that. So I highly recommend checking this one out when it comes to Kickstarter later this summer. The art is stunning. The game is stunning. The mechanics are stunning. Everything about it is really beautiful.
Are they predators?
The first game of his, Open Ocean, that's going to be available, I believe, soon on Ood.
Well, I believe they are in discussions. Exciting. So there's all sorts of things going on over there.
I don't know if anyone saw, but this week a brand new board game website was launched, Out of Town Games, and it's on the big World Wide Web as OOTG.com, Out of Town Games. And it's fantastic. It's just navigates super smoothly. There are a ton of games on there that you might not necessarily be able to find easily elsewhere. One of my favorite things that we were talking about earlier is that they photograph the front and the back of the box.
How cool is that? You know, when you go into a game store, the first thing you do is look at the back.
You want to see the back?
Don't see that online, do you? You do now.
Check it out.
Very exciting.
Out of Town Games.
OOTgames.com. OOT Games.
OOT Games.
Not OTT. That's us. OTT is us.
Very true. So go look it out. It's a really good website. You know, I'm not saying go buy stuff. I'm just saying it's a cool place to check out if you want to find a new place for your retail outlet.
There's lots of opportunities, but it's nice to have a choice.
Absolutely. What else have you been playing this week? I've been playing a lot this week.
I've been less busy on board games. It has been about the quick, light games. Again, Sean's got to the table again. I'm embarrassed to say. But I haven't had that big board game experience. Rallyman GT I'm looking forward to. That's this weekend. Oh!
This hit the table. It was a... Oh, yeah. Unicorn Fever. This hit the table this week from Horrible Guild. And it was a very exciting experience because I was off doing other things, and I came into this room here, which we're in now, where all my board games are stored and we sometimes play.
It's nice.
And my 5-year-old daughter had set this up on the table on her own and said, "Daddy, can we play it?" And my son does that all the time.
Yeah.
But this game, like, you've played it, right?
Yeah.
It's not super simple. Like,
no.
It's simple enough for a 5-year-old to play.
I reckon you can scale it down as well.
Yeah.
Quite comfortably. Take out some elements to make it work.
We play the full rules, but the setup is... There's some stuff there, right? And she said it all up, and you know, any parent out there will understand what a joy it is when their kids want to hang out with you and spend time with you, but more so when that hangout time is playing a ball game.
Playing ball games, this is cool.
And then you had the layer that they set the game up for you as well.
Yeah. No, it's good. I wish I'd got painted unicorns.
Yeah, me too. That's the only downfall about this game, because everything about it is
brilliant and beautiful, and the gameplay is fun. There's edge of seat moments, isn't there? And I love the way that the unicorns race along the track. So it's got this odd system. So some unicorns are better than others, and that makes them probably move faster, but not always.
But yeah,
and they're cool. They're also just right. I think you have to do that trick, don't we, with your hand behind. I don't know how it works.
There we go. The unicorns are very cool, but yeah, and they all look like this in terms of the color. So they're quite hard to differentiate when they're on the board.
But you can put the bases on, can't you?
You have the bases, which then give you the color. But I don't know what you found. The bases are impossible to get off.
And they don't fit back in the box with them on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've broken them by trying to take it off. But that's the only problem with the game. Everything else about it is absolutely beautiful.
And I love, as I say, I love that racing mechanic where you turn over one of these cards, and depending where your odds are, depends how many they move. So that would be 2 pole positions too. But then also you roll a dice and it can bump them up, and then you can be mean. But look at the board.
The board is just, I mean, first of all, it's big. I love a big board, but look at the colors and everything about it.
Boards, and I mustn't
it's beautiful. So yeah, I wish I had the painted.
I'm going to get the painted
unicorns too.
They're good.
I haven't painted anything yet, but I feel like this would be a good one to paint. I think my kids would
also
appreciate it.
Do it colour, can't you?
What, was one solid colour?
If you had to.
Yeah, good point. It wouldn't be that tricky. Worth a try. Anyway, if anyone's got any questions, please post
yeah,
them.
we had any.
I'm not sure if there's been any. Oh, is that Joe is watching? How exciting!
Oh, hello, Joe.
I was saying nice things about you. I didn't even know you were here.
No, that is nice.
That's nice to hear. Oh, so Erlina said Kohaku?
Yeah, I think you're going to like that. That's the one with the koi carp tiles.
Am I saying that right? Kohaku?
Yeah.
Kohaku?
Say it quicker and with more confidence.
Kohaku?
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds like a sneeze.
Bless you.
I'd like to try that. I generally haven't heard of that. You have?
Yeah. It's acrylic tiles, and you have to peel the cellophane off each one. And it's an abstract strategy with koi carp. And the layered acrylic gives that, everyone's doing it, aren't they, where they look like it's going through water these days.
Okay. I'd like to try that.
Abstract strategy.
Erling also says, show the walls, Nick. What does that mean? Does that mean
the walls. It was in the Winter Haven. Apparently, I was only showing nice cards and pretty cards. Oh, I didn't know there was anything else. I was just looking at prettiness and beauty.
Probably, I only gave you one half of the stack. That's why.
So I couldn't show these. But there's the wolf. What's your best wolf impression, Jim?
I could do sort of an inquisitive, slightly camp wolf.
This is a treat.
Unsure about what's going on.
Okay, so this is Jim's embodying this. Let's go. Yeah, you nailed it. In fairness, you built it out perfectly.
If I did that without the explanation, you wonder what was going on.
Oh, for sure.
With the explanation, it makes perfect sense. So yeah, the other half of the deck. Here's the beaver.
Oh, of course, you show the beaver. Brilliant.
And the fox.
What did the fox say, Jim?
Nick, I did only give you half the deck. Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
This is my favourite card, the bear. Just beautiful, the artwork. I believe, Joe, I don't know if you can confirm or deny this, I believe Joe is going to be having some form of this artwork as a purchasable thing or an add-on, which I absolutely would do because it's beautiful. I mean, ultimately, I just want to fly Joel over so he can decorate my children's bedrooms.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? So we've got a question. First question in.
Oh, you see one?
Susanna Cousins from Games with Beanie. Nick, what's the most surprising game you spied on Jim's game shelf? I'll be back.
Whilst he looks for that, I will have a look at the other comments because it's hard to keep up in a live. What is that game called again? That was Winterhaven Woods. Where's the box gone?
It's underneath Unicorn Beaver.
There he is. Let me show you again. Winterhaven Woods, and it's going to be coming out this summer on Kickstarter, I believe, from Featherstone Games, the people behind Open Ocean. So you can get hold of Open Ocean right now, and I would heavily recommend it. It's beautiful, very similar style art, very beautiful and excellent, really very cool. Jenny Inman says, Out of Town Games is a fantastic website. I sincerely agree. I think Jenny from Board Game Family UK has made purchases from there already, and they only launched 2 days ago, I believe. So that shows you how quick these people are.
So here we go. This is
you picked one?
Well, this is surprising because this is what I was going to bring to play tonight.
Surprising you didn't know I had it.
Yeah, I didn't know he had it. He was been banging on about Air, Land and Sea for ages. Oh, I can't get it, I can't get it. And there it is on his shelf.
So just quickly before we show this
one,
go on. That one I'm embarrassed by. This was sent to me by Jenny from Board Game Family UK because she heard me talking about it and found it.
I think the word's whining,
moaning that it's just so hard to get a hold of. And the reason why I moan about that, because I'm not being completely objectionable, but inside this box, this very small box, you get 3 of these Air, Land and Sea, which are largely redundant. It's just a place to put cards, but they're nice. Some points tokens, which again are largely redundant. They're just points. You can remember it in your head. And a deck of cards, and that's it. And so my point was, I really want this game because it's brilliant, and now I've played it. It's fantastic. Go get it. It's so good. But why is it always out of print? Like, just hit print again. It can't be that hard. No. Anyway, Jenny found it and very kindly sent it, which is a beautiful gesture, and I have enjoyed it immensely. I had people around last week for in-person gaming for the first time, and we played that, and it was crazy fun.
I think it's crazy fun. I'm
not happy about the game you picked up.
Thinking of what I'm thinking on that one though?
What? Oh yeah, I think I would be. Yeah,
because it's one of my faves.
I would agree. So if we're talking small box games,
2-player,
it deserves it. If we're talking 2-player games, it deserves it. If we're talking value games, it deserves it. If we're talking games that give you more thought than you thought, like more strategy than you thought. Honestly, if I describe this game, I wouldn't do it justice because there is just so much,
and yet so little. So streamlined and so majestically, like edited down to the bare minimum.
All you have is 6 cards. Is that right? 6? And it's not about what you play, because ultimately, if you have an air card, it has to be played in air. C, it has to be played in C, unless you turn them upside down. But I won't go into that.
Doesn't solo.
So ultimately, it's just about you have to put them where you put them. So it's not about where you put them; it's about when you put them. And I'm not sure there's many games that have that mechanic. No. The order of putting these cards down generally makes a huge difference to your chances of victory.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I absolutely love about this is there's this mechanic in the game whereby if you don't think you're going to win that round, that's fine. You have to probably play 5 or 6 rounds to win a game. But if you don't think you're going to win that round, you can withdraw.
Yeah.
And the earlier you withdraw, the less points your opposition gets. And I don't think I've seen that in any other game.
No, I don't.
Genius.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So for that reason, ladies and gents, and I'm impromptu but very worthy Nick and Jim's show seal of approval for Air, Land and Sea from Arcane Wonders.
Congratulations. Well worth checking out if you can get a hold of it. If you can't, moan on the internet about not being able to
get hold of it. And Jenny will probably send you a copy if you're lucky.
But it really is generally a brilliant game. Sometimes we've got a game like a Grail game we've been chasing for ages, and then you finally get it. It doesn't live up to the hype. This did. So if I'm hyping it up too much now, I can't be, because I promise it's good.
Retract.
I really don't want you to talk about this game.
Well, the question was, what have you spied on Jim's game shelf that is surprising?
Shame.
Don't be addicted. It's over there. It was pride of place. It was just here on the shelf.
I mean, it was.
It wasn't.
It was not.
I'm sure it's great fun though.
It's fine. Gingerbox Games make brilliant party games.
They do. They make Taskmaster, which is great.
They do.
One of the highest rated games of all time, I believe.
Similar sort of vibe to Big Potato, UK based, make real cool, family friendly party games. But this one just didn't quite hit the spot for me. But what I would say is I played that game after a few adult based beverages, and laughed a lot.
Yeah. And that's what you want from a party game, so it does deliver. Ultimate Arrogance was then. We played that live on Instagram a little while ago. That's a really good one from Ginger Fox as well as Taskmaster.
Absolutely.
There's a cool one. I've not played it, but there's one with donuts, and they're sort of real donut shaped. I saw the other day. That was fun.
I haven't played that one either. That sounds fun.
But anyway, so go check out Ginger Fox in.
That was a mean question to ask.
It was a mean question, but there we go.
You could have picked worse games, to be fair.
Oh yeah, no, I ignored the shelf over there. The shelf of shame, and not because it's in shrink wrap. I hasten to. No, I'm teasing. Right, what's this? Jim is brilliant with thinking stuff up. You're brilliant at thinking stuff up.
Thanks very much. So Joel says, how has the Board Gamers chat been going, you two and Airline? It's a really cool idea. Really good. Yeah, we talked a bit about that earlier. So briefly, all I would say is it's going great because somebody has engaged, and it's been more than somebody. But I was just thinking today, as long as one person reaches out, that's the point, because I feel like then we're making a difference.
And a couple of the others have had people reach out to, haven't they?
Yeah, and there's been a few, so I'm really happy. And it's day one, it's just the start, and just briefly, all we're doing is just saying there's an opportunity to talk to people, and we're open. That's it.
Say hi.
End of. So
say hi.
Reach out and say hello. So thank you.
Have you got any other questions?
Thank you for asking. Airline says, does it have a solo? Sorry, need to know. I presume you're talking about Airland and Sea.
But it doesn't.
It does. It's solid 2-player.
Only 2-player.
If you were talking about this, it does, and it's a brilliant solo. It's fantastic. I played it the other day.
And Airline was working on the solo.
She has worked on it. Sent the rules to Joel. Joel sent them to me. I played them, and they're fantastic.
Sweet.
So yeah, it's a brilliant solo experience. Really chilled. I did it the other day. It was sort of, the sun was setting. I was looking out at the window of my garden as I saw the sunset, and I got this game out, and instantly I was just like, And there's not many games that can do that.
What games make me chill? I'm going to think about that whilst you notice Eleanor.
I know, ha ha ha. Was that the question you were thinking of?
No, the one above that.
One above that. Oh, Eleanor. I mean, I know, ha 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 is not really a question, but I'll say that's my bad. Eleanor Hall has from Board.Runner has said, "What's top of your want to play lists at the moment?" For me, there is about 10. But I would say very high in terms of the game that I own that I haven't played yet is Sulkin. Because I've had it for about 1.5 years, which has got me a little bit grumpy. How would I describe that? I'm sulking, and so I would like to play Sulkin. I don't really know why I haven't played it, but I really want to. I think it's just sort of one of those games.
It's got cogs.
Actually, I'll tell you why. The box has no inlay, and when I opened it up, I was like, "Oh, that's a," and freaked out and closed the box. That's why I haven't played it. That is why. That's the honest answer. So that's probably top of my owned games that I want to play. What about you?
There's a role-playing game I want to try. It's called Alice is Missing. It's quite hard to find now, unfortunately, but I secured a copy a couple of days ago.
Nice.
It is a RPG, and it is played in silence with a background noise from your computer on against a timer. And I think it's about 4 people, might be 2 to 4 people, but you only communicate through your mobile phone text messaging.
Oh, wow.
As if you're a group of kids. Basically, I think there are triggers in there, so you have to be careful who you play with. But Girls Gone Missing, your group of friends, you get your little character that you've got to embody, and you start sending texts to try and work out what happened to Alice. And I just, even thinking about it gives me chills, and I can't wait to try it out, but I just can't work out who to play with.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to play it. And I think it's had okay reviews, but I haven't actually read many because I didn't want to spoil it.
I'm instantly fascinated by that. That sounds
completely silent, just on your mobiles. So, I mean, some people might be funny about that, whether you want your mobile at the gaming table. But I just think if you were trying to bridge that gap between those people that aren't used to it,
for the odd game,
I think it's going to be a fun experience, and it's replayable. So there are different options with the characters and how it does. Not infinitely. You're not going to be playing it every week like you might Games on Clever or something similar. But it's fascinating.
I think the top of my list of games I want to play that I don't own yet is Laws of Waterdeep. And the reason why that's top of my list right now is tomorrow, Gareth from Board Game Meeple, thank you. So many board game counts.
Yeah.
Gareth from Board Game Meeple is coming around here with a few other people. I'm very excited. We're going to go out in the garden. Hopefully it's not too wet. And he's going to bring his copy of Laws of Waterdeep and teach it to me, which I'm very excited about. Because
a game like that being taught is a luxury. You have to learn the rules yourself. It's not.
I've got sort of 3 or 4 games that I would consider classics, like modern classics, like things like that and Castles of Burgundy, that I haven't played yet. and I just desperately want to tick it off.
Not play Castle Burgundy.
Not play Castle Burgundy.
No.
And only recently played Istanbul. So I would put Istanbul as a must-have recent classic, Castle Burgundy and Lords of Waterdeep, and they're just weirdly games I haven't got around to yet. There's just a lot of games. If you're going, why haven't you played it? Just because there's a lot.
There is a lot of games I've never played, and this is what you must remember when you're on Instagram browsing and thinking, God, I haven't played any of the games. We haven't. I've never played Catan. I've never played Terraforming Mars.
Oh, me neither.
I've played Castles of Burgundy, but there's plenty and loads that you would say, oh my God, you've got to play that. And I haven't. I only played Viticulture not long ago, a couple of weeks ago for the first time. And Sagrada this week. There's so many classics. And then you've got the shiny and new. And I do try and balance those two, because I like to play the old ones as well, to see the game progression in history as well as just myself.
Definitely, yeah. So I'll tick that one off tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. Erlina said folded space as an insert for Zolkin. I'm going to check that out, because
that would make you happy, won't it?
I bought the game. It's been on my shelf for a year and a half, and I haven't played it for that reason. So I think I will check that out. That will make a significant difference.
BC, the lovely emotional cyborg, has said, what really cemented your love for board games, Jim?
Oh, very good question. And I've thought about this a lot over the last year and a half, because, like everybody, I've had more time to think.
Time to think, yeah.
And I wrote a post blog on my website a few months back after Nathan,
which is whatboardgame.com. Yeah,
thank you very much. Which is what Nathan from goodness me, help me out here.
Surgical Maple.
Surgical Maple. Thanks very much. I had NJC, which is his old account. The Surgical Maple. He hosted a Railroading challenge early on. I think it was like lockdown 2 or lockdown 8. I forget which lockdown it was. And it started off with sort of 4 or 5 of us, and it ended up being about 30. And I came off those calls just like filled with quite this like nice, euphoric, chilled, happy vibe. And I was like, that's why I love board games. I love board games because there is, from my experience, and I'm not saying there is nothing else, I'm just saying from my experience, as a 40-year-old, 1-year-old bloke who's tried lots of different things.
Again.
I haven't found something that instantly connects people as easily as board games. So that's what made me fall in love. Like, I started playing board games years before that, but I didn't know why I fell in love with them. I enjoyed the social aspect. I enjoyed the excitement of new things, challenging myself, hanging out with people, all that stuff. The time I could spend with my family that was genuine quality time, and it was also mutually enjoyable. You could do a lot of things with your kids, and they're having a great time, and you're having a good time because you're spending time with your kids, but you're not enjoying playing with Duplo as much as them. No matter what anyone says, that's just a fact. But if you're both playing a ball game, you might be more even in terms of enjoyment. So I like that, but I didn't really know why I love them so much until I found that reason out. It's because they level the playing field.
They do. I like the puzzle of it. I like working out the mechanics. I like the puzzle of it, and I like the fact that when you're there, you're thinking about that. And if your phone's to one side, you're focused on one thing, and it's almost an escape where you can't think about the day you've just had at work. You can't think about the day you're going to have tomorrow at work, or the people you're not going to see tomorrow, or whatever. You've got this one thing to focus on, and it's, if you play it sensibly, it consumes you, and the rest of the world just fades out, like me walking away from the camera.
Yeah, it's very true. It's a nice thing to sort of just zen into, isn't it?
Escapism.
Escapism. That's the word. It just, all the troubles, you just instantly poured into it, which is why I think early on in my gaming hobby life, I was instantly poured into very deeply thematic games because it brought you in without any thought. Whereas now I can be absorbed into anything just because I just know I'm going to enjoy it, and I've lost that sort of fear of, am I going to enjoy it? Am I going to be able to understand it? So yeah, I think escapism and the purity of the human race, that's why we fell into the love of board games. Great question. Thank you for asking.
Erline has come in. What are your favourite designers besides Jamie? Do you know any designers other than Jamie?
Are there any other? I love the fact she said besides Jamie.
Shem Phillips. There you go. Nice and easy. No, there's lots of fabulous designers out there. There's not, the trouble, I guess the reason you know the Jamies and the Shems is because they've got the whole catalogue, and some people aren't getting to that point. I mean, you got to say Alan Moon's pretty good with Ticket to Ride, haven't you? So there's so many different designers.
I would say there was a few people who made this. This is one of my favourite games of all time, top 5 for me. The team that did Dune also made Cosmic Encounter, which is also one of my favourite games of all time. And I love the fact that this was made in the late 70s and Cosmic Encounter was made in the early 80s, I think. So these guys are the OG, right? They were there from the beginning before all the other stuff was there. They had to invent mechanisms, not copy mechanisms.
Doesn't that wind you up though? Because this was around in my childhood basically, and I didn't play it.
It makes me sad that
Yeah.
my parents bought Monopoly and Cluedo instead of this. So
Exactly.
I hear you, because
Yeah.
we could have been having a much better time. But yeah, so this was Bill Ebel, Jack Kittredge, and Peter Olotka.
Sure, that's how you pronounce it.
No, the pronunciation's there. The only one I know specifically is Peter Olotka, because I spoke to him once and he was just
Oh yeah, I remember reading that interview.
such a
It was
gem.
a red one, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not many things I do in board game that I sent to my mum. This one I sent to my mum because I was just like, find out if this guy's single and hook up with him. He was amazing. He was such a cool dude and incredibly humble, considering, for me, his huge influence over the board game industry, in that he created this, one of the first big asymmetric games, then Cosmic Encounter, which for me is the best asymmetric game. And I know we're both massive fans of asymmetry.
Yes.
And asymmetry is such a huge thing in board games now. And I feel like these guys, I mean, I'm not saying they were the first people to utilize it. There were other games around, but for me, they were the first to make it massive and huge and popular. Like the way Pandemic was absolutely not the first co-op game. It was the first to make it really popular. So, you know, credit to them for doing that. So I'd say Peter Olotka and the team behind that would probably be my number one pick.
Really fun games has gone. What was the first board game you remember playing that you loved as a lad? For both of you, mine was Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs and Escape Ghost Castle. Simple move, roll the dice, move games. Apparently they don't hold up today, but I really loved them as a kid. So I sort of want to try it. I also don't want to ruin the nostalgia. So I'm in that grey area. Do you or don't you? I don't know. How about you?
I vote don't ruin the nostalgia.
Fair enough.
Like maybe buy a copy, just don't buy it, just don't play it. You know, have it there. So for me, it was Escape from Colditz, which I guess a few might have it up and played. And I think similar to you, I've sort of looked for it and wanted to find it. I don't want to buy a reprint, which they did sort of, I think, mid to late 90s. I want the 80s one that I played, so it looks the same, ideally smells the same. And I'm nervous of doing it for the same reason as you, because from memory, I think it's probably going to be a terrible game. I remember being very bored in the early stages of the game, where you basically want to get from one part of the prison to another part, and it takes just forever. And if I got bored of that at 8, I'll probably be terribly bored of that in my 40s. But yeah, Escape from Colditz was big nostalgia.
I mean, Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs had a pterodactyl that flew when you pinched the back, Brickle and dinosaurs and lava tokens. So I mean, ultimately it was a winner. Ghost Castle had a skull that dropped down and knocked people over, which is also good. Erline saying leave well alone. Leave it in the past. Thanks.
She never tried them, but loved Key to the Kingdom. Truly intensely hate it now that my kid wants to play.
Oh, and Jenny's just sold her copy last week on eBay. Unlucky of Colditz.
Oh, there's an 80s copy as well. Was it in good nick? Oh man,
it was brilliant. And she 99p on eBay. It was strange and missed out.
Did you play it? Did you have it because you played it and it's been yours all that time, or did you acquire it later? I must find that out. But yeah, did you ever play that?
No.
It's an interesting concept and quite a layered game for the time it came out. But
really,
I think probably
maybe not now.
Probably now I'd give it like a 5 is my guess. But 5's better than 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's mid-ground, isn't it? BGG say I'd play in the mood at that point, don't they?
Hey?
Isn't that BGG rating for 5?
Yeah.
I'd play if I'm in the mood.
Yeah, if I'm in the mood, exactly. And are you ever going to be in the mood? No.
No.
So why are you keeping the game? Because I've got a problem and I need help.
They didn't play it, no.
But I got rid of it as we
didn't play it.
Time. Oh. Sad face. It's hard to do emojis with a real body.
Oh, Brad Cousins bought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's the generational gap straight away. With my youth last year, playing it didn't ruin nostalgia. I think board games have progressed a little bit between me and you, Brad.
Who was your favourite turtle? Go.
Oh, Donatello.
Really?
Yeah.
Michelangelo for sure. I liked his style.
Michelangelo's quite good, but Donatello had a massive staff.
That's pretty cool.
You can't be jealous of a massive staff.
He was the sort of smart geeky one. The other 3 didn't like.
No. Well, I don't know. Leonardo was the bossy one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Raphael was sort of, I'm second in command.
Michelangelo was like the surf dude.
Yeah, Michelangelo was good. He ate the most pizza. Oh, well. Right, what else we got?
Joel Bodkin from First Time Games says, has it always been board games for you, or did you branch out into CCG, collectible card games, or the video game world? I've played a lot of video games, but I find it interesting that if you say you play video games, people go, okay, cool, that's the end of it. If you say you play board games, like, oh, you're a geek. And I find that interesting because video games generally are a solo experience, or you playing with people you don't know with a headpiece on your own in your house.
These days. Back in our day, you know, Jim, it was a split screen going down the middle like that, and you'd be trying to work out what was around the corner of this tiny little screen, which was on a tube, a TV this deep, deeper than it was wide, and you'd have a split screen going down the middle, and it was great fun.
They were awesome. And remember, this is in the 80s and 90s when the TVs were much smaller.
They were much smaller.
Only having one half, and it's a vertical half,
challenge.
Makes it difficult. With what was the Bond game? GoldenEye. I'm a big fan of GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people
and that was one of the big first person four-player shoot 'em ups. And my friend created this thing out of cardboard that sort of came out from the screen, so people couldn't see other people's locations on the screen because it was then easy to go find them if they're hiding. But you can see where they're hiding. That's the level. But not so much anymore because it's just not social. You know, I play board games to hang out, not to play the game just solely. So
I played Fortnite recently. I played it a couple of times because my boys wanted me to play with them in a team squad battle.
Was it fun?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're running around killing things, and I placed quite highly, so I looked like quite a cool dad. But it was more luck than judgment. There we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, Steve Godfrey says your love of board games will be found in a boot sale. I don't know if that's damning or not.
Probably
Sounds
true.
Damning.
Probably true. Whenever I go past a charity shop in the high street, I do always have a little look through the window to see if there's any nuggets of gold in the board game collection. But I haven't been the person to find one yet. But regularly see on Facebook people go, "Oh, I just got this copy of this game for like £2, and it's still in its shrink wrap." And you think,
that's a shame.
That would be nice to find that one day. But yeah, I would happily buy board games from a copy sale when you're allowed to again.
Steve Godfrey agrees with me. Split screen was great until you realised you were looking at the wrong side. Yeah, and it often happened because you'd sit this side, but the TV didn't know that.
That's so true, yeah. And you're moving around going, I'm smashing this.
Oh, this is amazing. Why are you reversing into a wall? That's you. Ah!
That's Mario Kart right there.
Yeah, it was.
That was pretty much my life from 1996 to 1999, I think.
Yeah, Resident Evil. I always loved Resident Evil. Would play late at night and dim the lights.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Such a good game. Such a good game. So yeah, I think we both were big video gamers, but yeah, not so much now, just because I guess time and we want to hang out with people rather than just.
I want to unplug. The trouble is, back then my life didn't involve computers, so I didn't mind going home and staring at a screen.
Yeah, true. You didn't have a phone. You didn't have a laptop.
But pretty much from the waking hour to the end of the day, I'm on a screen unless I'm playing board games. So there we go. Oh, Steve Godfrey got a copy of Dixie.
Dixie?
So,
for a $5.
It means Dixit.
Maybe. Is there a game called Dixie?
I don't know. I've heard Dixit though.
I played Dixit yesterday, and that's the last thing I want to talk about. I went to a board game cafe for the first time in a year and a half.
That is exciting, isn't it?
In Waterloo, in London, and as I walked in the door, I shook with excitement because I've been playing board games obviously throughout all of this, but board games that I don't own in a new experience with new people. It was just very exciting. And I played Dixit, Chameleon, and Wavelength, which I hadn't played before. I played the other two, but not Wavelength before. And that is, you've got that right. Crazy.
Oh, Wavelength is so much fun. We should play that live one time. The other thing that happened, wasn't it? Did they, when you walked through the door, did they go, "Excuse me, sir, you jim.gamer from what board game?"
We're not going to talk about that.
They did.
Steve Godfrey says Dixit. He confirms it was Dixit that he was talking about. And Dixit's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. Really fun game. Says, "Thank you guys. I have fun. Catch you next time."
Yeah. Good night. I think that is a good time to leave, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I don't think there's anything else we've done. We've played our games. We've said all that, and that's it.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Subscribe to the What Board Game YouTube channel. Ring the bell so you get notified for any other lives in case we do this impromptu again. And I think that's it for this evening.
That's it. If you missed any part of this earlier, we will save this to YouTube. You'll be able to find it on Board Game Review's website. Head there now. All the other episodes there, plus lots of fantastic reviews. Go check it out. It's obviously something that both of us do just for fun, but it generally makes a difference when you come along and you see what we do. Thank you so much for joining us in this live. We really appreciate it. So very much.
Sorry, there is one other thing. Sorry, I thought what would be quite fun.
I was just doing the.
Yeah, no, you were, but I just thought one little. Right, I've got a joke. Yeah, it's a pirate joke.
I like joke.
Okay, so this is inspired by a pirate, and the joke goes like this. I'm going to call it a joke. I'll let you decide. Okay. What is a pirate's favourite fishy snack?
Fishy snack. What is a pirate's favourite snack? I don't know. What is it?
Pieces of skate. Pieces of skate.
I don't get it.
Good night.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
Whatever. Thanks. Bye.
Have a lovely weekend, y'all.